So we have the latest on Boeing 737 MAX jet. Now both Canada and the European Union are saying they will not allow any of these planes to fly in their airspace until changes are approved. So David Curley is at Reagan International Airport with a closer look.
Kim, quite a lot to report about on the Ethiopian investigation and these two 73 MAXs that have crashed. Let's first start with some of the details that have come out about that first crash. We're hearing from Reuters that they've spoken with somebody who is familiar with the cockpit voice recorder in the first 737 MAX that crashed, because at the time the preliminary report came out, they had not found that box. But according to the recording, the pilot and co-pilot were fumbling with their quick reference guide because the plane was in this nose dive based on bad data. The computer was nosing it down, and they kept on going through the guide. The procedure, according to Boeing and U.S. trained pilots, is to basically shut off that system. They didn't do it and crashed. Bloomberg also reporting that we knew on the flight the day before in that same aircraft in Indonesia, they had the same problem. And apparently, according to Bloomberg, it was actually a pilot who was along for the ride in the jump seat who told the captain and the co-pilot, hey, the procedure is to shut off the system. They shut it off and continued the flight there. Now, a lot of investigations being launched. The Department of Transportation has said that its Inspector General is now looking into the way that this aircraft, the 737 MAX, was certified by the FAA. It may be a broad look. FAA has been using the process for the past couple of decades, which is a collaborative process with the manufacturer. They may focus in, though, on this actual system that was involved in the Lion Air crash, that first crash, which is an anti-stall safety system which kicked in based on bad data. The problem with it, according to many experts, is that it asked the aircraft to do something very severe, a deep dive to try and keep out of a stall, and the point of it is that it's one point of data that can cause that. And in Lion Air, it was bad data, told the computer, and the computer did what it did. Now, the software update that is coming from Boeing will have multiple points of data. That software update is supposed to be out in the next couple of weeks. Captain Sully Sullenberger now chiming in as well. He's written an op-ed saying that the FAA and Boeing are too cozy of a relationship, pointing out that he believes that at times when FAA certification officers have pointed out some things, they've been overridden by FAA management. So a number of investigations underway as we still wait for the investigators who are in Addis Ababa, apparently starting to get some of the data, looking at some of the data what the Ethiopians have. They got it extracted in France and took it back to Addis Ababa. We're waiting to get the raw data so that the US and European investigators can take that raw data, plug it through their computers and figure out, are these two crashes actually related? Was this same system involved in both? Although there's no final report in that first crash, we basically know it was bad maintenance, a faulty sensor, and pilot error that caused the crash, and the software update coming for this system that was involved in that first crash. We don't know if it's actually involved in the second crash. Kim, back to you.
Thank you, David.